Mil2VEt fam, welcome to the ScuttleButt. With us, we have Megan and Christopher.
Hi guys. How's
So,
everyone?
What's up, everybody?
I'm
we are
good.
excited to bring you and have you here.
Yeah. Is that a car seat in the back, Chris?
It is. It's where
Okay.
Yogi sits whenever I drive him around to school. It's not about weight;
Safety
it's about
first.
height
Safety
limits.
first.
And Yogi's underneath the height limit, and I just want to make sure that he safely gets everywhere I transit him to.
Well played. Well played.
The gloves have come off.
I know,
Yes,
right?
and it's the first less than 2 minutes. We're already starting to get after each other. I love it. Hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. We are streaming on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So make sure you guys give us a comment and ask your questions. Please fire it away. This is the new Scuttlebutt, and I'm just really excited. So, Yogi, take it away, brother.
So, with that, we would like to introduce to you our team and who we are. Dun, dun, dun. And so this
Ta-da.
is us. Ta-da!
So so do you who wants to kick off like the name, why, the story kind of behind it?
go for it.
I think it's only fitting if it comes from you all. I can contribute to how the design came about, but I think the story behind it, I should really
You know,
start with you, and then I can just chime in.
let's let's. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit. So the name Scuttlebutt. The name Scuttlebutt actually traces back to it's a nautical thing. Everybody has all heard about the water fountain, where you would go and gossip at the water fountain. So the Scuttlebutt is the water fountain for the Navy. So the Scuttlebutt is the place that you would go to, you know, fill your cup up with water, and also where the men and women would gather and talk and share rumors and news and talk about different things that were happening amongst them. So we chose the name Scuttlebutt for this monthly live to pretty much bring all that here virtually for everybody to watch and enjoy and to talk about. And it's really not just about what Yogi, Megan, Chris, and the rest of the team have to say, but it's actually what's on people's minds today. This is purely us veterans getting together and helping each other out, connect
Hmm.
with the resources. It's networking, it's figuring out what's going on in today's news for us veterans, and much, much more.
And with that, we want to hear what you have to say, what questions are burning um, your mind, your heart, whether it's about transition, whether it's about the VA benefits, whether it's about anything and everything, we want to talk about it. We want to hear it, right? Also, part of the design, as you can see, you have Chris in his whites because he loves to wear his whites. We're still working on a little bit of the logos part because obviously we use AI to come up with this, and a great designer who I cannot say nothing but great things about how she came up with all these things and has helped us, right?
Hmm.
The vision of how Chris, Megan, and I came up with this and talking about it would only be in our minds had she not put it to pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
So this, go ahead, Megan.
Oh no, so Carol. who's on my team with HumanWorks, she fought with AI for several days and painstaking hours, and she's actually monitoring the chat, so you can always tell her how you feel about our logo for the live series. But a lot of thought went into the logo and what we were talking about, and Chris initially said he was going to do it, and then I said, "Are you sure?" And I said, let's just try to let me let us take something off your plate. And so um
That's really hard for us, a lot of us veterans, to not just veterans, but just in general, when you got something and you really want to be involved in every aspect. And it's something that I've been personally learning, is to let other people help me. So thank you for pointing that out, Megan.
oh, it was just like a like we this is how we come together as a team, right? It's all about teamwork. And the team wouldn't be possible also without Carol. So I do want to make sure that we're acknowledging Carol. Carol actually put together our slide
100%.
deck as well. So yeah, give her a shout out. But we tried to, or she tried to make sure that the uniforms were as accurate as possible. But AI is still learning. That's what AI is all about, right?
Correct.
So yeah, so I'm just really excited. I look like a beer winch in there, but that's okay. And I don't drink beer, and it's still
It's water.
morning.
It's water. We swear. We
Look,
swear it's water.
and talking about the water, right? The proverbial water, the fountain of wisdom. That's also part of what drove the design into this, right? So for all of you who are curious, this is what an actual scuttlebutt back in the days would have been on a ship, on a wooden ship, and this is where they would have come and gotten the water out of it, right? Right here, obviously, you have Megan with her beautiful red, glorious hair, right? And then you have myself. I mean, just the great looks, you know.
Yeah.
I might be biased, but that's besides the point. Then you have Chris, and then these are all of the branches and services representing the unity across what we're doing, right? We all
Mhm.
wear a different uniform. We all came up. We all did different things. However, at the end of the day, once you're a veteran, you are a veteran, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'd like to announce to everyone in the world who's listening and who will listen to this later, September 30th will be my last day officially in the Navy.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Finally.
It's officially official
It's officially official
because
until
it's
the next
moved
change.
several times, right? It's got
Yes,
postponed.
yeah,
Like,
but this time it came from the Washington, so it's
oh,
on paper that it is supposed to be officially official. So hopefully it stays official. What
how
we'll
are you
say is
feeling?
like 95%. How do I feel about it? Well, thanks to everything that we've been doing here to help other veterans, um, I feel like I am better prepared than most. But at the same time, I still have this anxiety, these reservations of what am I really gonna do with my life? Am I really sticking and going to school? Is everything gonna work out the way that it's supposed to? Should I be focusing on different things? Am I making the right steps? Um, so also part of my story for everyone that just a quick recap. I have been full-time RVing for the last year and a half just in preparation of retirement because I was so worried of not being able to have the right amount of time to find housing or figure out what I was gonna do after. So I opted to start full-time RVing so that was one least thing to worry about. And that has worked out. That is a great thing that has worked out in my favor. right? Um, I'm less stressed about that. It's giving me more options to be able to go to college here locally, start the process, use the VRNE program to be able to set myself up for the next steps, and then really have flexibility with what I wanted and how I wanted to do it. Um, so it, as the time is getting closer, it feels surreal, but I feel better than I even was 2 years ago when I somewhat started this process. So,
I know it's been a rough process, and it's something that we are going to be talking a lot more about once Yogi's officially out. Uh, and the thing is that's the reason why we started this, is because we were finding that we, as senior enlisted um, personnel in the military, were still having a lot of challenges when it came to transitioning out. And Yogi and I were like, if we're having this level of difficulty because of a medical situation, what else? What is everybody else having? And the problem is that people get pushed and forced to do things that leaves a lot of their benefits on the table. So if a lot of people are asking why it took so long, it's because you got to make sure you take care of yourself, and not everybody's situation is the same. I can't wait to have Yogi on here on and share more of this. But let's let's talk about some of the people that are on our chat right now. Um, we got David. Hey, David, what's up, bud? Hey,
Hey,
if you want to
David.
come on, we could you got the link. It's in our thing. So just go ahead, click on it, and hop on. It's always good to have David. He's got an amazing program going on. He's also a fellow podcaster, Homefront Sit Rep, and also the Tip of the Spear, where a bunch of us get together and talk about what's going on. And it's really a bunch of veteran podcasters and leaders in that environment. So looks like he's going to go to the basement to come talk to us. So we should expect get David as a special guest on here today. That's awesome.
before we bring him on, let's go ahead and finish with our presentation on who we are and what brought us here.
Yes.
What say you, team?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. So first up is me. Woohoo! Well,
We put
um,
him first because he's active duty, guys, and we really want active duty people to hear from veterans. So it's not just because he's shortest. It's not a height line. It's not a height line, guys.
you
Just
didn't
put that
have
Let's
to
be
out
bring
like
up the
this.
last part, okay? Well, with that, I'm still active duty as we've talked about it. I will be retiring in September 29th, 30th. Um, I've been a chief for a little while, right? This right here is me. I was actually, oh, went back too far. This, I was actually applying for a special program, and they made me take my little picture to the side, which that was super fun. Um, then here we are at the Reunion Network with Cheryl. She runs a annual or a program where she connects veterans that want to get reconnected with their units, their commands that in the past, and she helps those groups plan events in order um, to be able to reconnect and have an amazing event. Did I cannot say these are all veterans. Most of them are from the Vietnam era and things like that. But amazing, amazing people and amazing resources. This is the retirement ceremony for Chris when he was here. And this is on board the USS Midway. This was my first picture while when I joined in boot camp. As you can see, my little one little ribbon. I can't even believe that I was that young. You know what I mean? Um, this was me on board the um, Eisenhower, I think. And this guy right here, his name is Pickney. He is amazing. He is a now a financial officer, and once he got out of the military, he started doing great things. Even throughout his military career, he was doing amazing things. I'm wearing the white on the flight deck for the flight deck safety, quality assurance, and then as you can see here on the right corner is Christopher and myself at the day of his retirement. So who's up next? Christopher.
Looks like I'm up next. Hey, let's go ahead and pull up the skipper of the veteran. It says, "Hey everyone." It looks like we have a new comment. What's up, skipper? Skipper of veteran.
Veteran
Thanks,
Nation.
man, for
Thanks for joining us.
there's real talk.
And then
Uh-oh. We lost him.
we lost Christopher. Great timing. So I'll end up talking about him to his face. And he's back. Um,
Sorry about that,
well,
guys.
it's
Yeah, I
all
don't
good,
know what
bro.
happened. So it switched over my audio and everything. Um, so give me a second. All right. Okay, so how's my audio? Is it decent?
Yes.
Good
Because
to
it's on
go.
my MacBook. All right.
Good to
Okay,
go.
cool. So we got a photo of me here with my family at my retirement ceremony, um, which was really cool. My kids, here's the thing about retirement ceremonies: it's not for the person who's retiring. It's actually for the family, and it's to celebrate and commemorate the moment that you are no longer in the military. And what was happening during COVID is a lot of people were actually missing out on the opportunity to have their own retirement ceremony. And I did not want to miss out on that. So we, with a lot of brothers and sisters' help, we were able to put together a retirement ceremony for my family on the USS Midway. And above this photo, you can't see it, but there was actually a formation flying right over the flag on the on
Of
that
the F
picture.
four.
So that was pretty cool. My kids, yeah, my kids thought that I had a personal flyover just for my retirement, and it just happened to work out that way. Then you got a picture of me. I don't have any really cool story pictures in here. Just some me chilling in my office that I built, and one of me while I was traveling. I believe I was in Montana, and and the other picture. So I've been traveling a lot, um, and I retired last year, and it's been quite a wild ride. Kind of figuring out like everything. I did my 20 years, and I retired, and now I'm the stay-at-home dad who's also trying to create a business, actually two businesses, while running um, our real estate portfolio and working with horse property and doing all that fun stuff. So I Yogi and I, we created Mil2VEt, and Mil2VEt was to record everything and that we could find about transitioning out of the military, and it turned out to become a really therapeutic thing for the both of us and everybody that has come on and shared their transition story. So that's what Mil2VEt's all about. And yeah, let's do the next one.
So it's me. It's my turn. Uh,
Woohoo!
so I'm Megan with Human Works Foundation. I'm also the chair of the Orange County Veterans and Military Families Collaborative. Sorry, the vice chair. And so this is, this is my family. These are the men in my family that have served. And so that is not my husband. That's actually my brother in the wedding dress. And I'm no longer married. But this was the only picture I could find of me and my brother together where he was actually in his uniform. And so he's still currently serving. He's stationed overseas, living his best life, stationed in Naples, traveling, all that fun stuff. So very jealous of him, but also he deserves it. He's put in about 8 years. And so he'll at least do 10. I told him make a career out of it. But we'll see what he actually ends up doing. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have my dad, Marine reservist. And so he's the only Marine in the family. Then we've got 2 Army, and they're actually fitting in the top right over there. So that is my grandfather on my mom's side. It's her dad. And then in the middle with my great-grandmother, that's my great-grandfather on my mother's side. And then we have my other grandfather on my dad's side. Yep, in the middle right there, perfect. And so he served in the Navy. And then also my great uncle on my mom's side, Chet. And so he also served in the Navy. So we've got 3 Navy, 2 Army, and 1 Marine. And then there's me. Just kidding. So I come from a very long line of individuals that are wanting to serve. So my way of giving back to the community is through the community work that I do by serving veterans and their families and trying to get them connected with resources, whether they are currently serving or they're transitioning out or they've already transitioned out and they're just kind of lost, whether it's, a year, 5, 10, 20 years after their service, making sure that they get connected to the right organizations, not just within Orange County, but, with joining forces with Mil2VEt, with the SkuttleButt, just being able to bring it national or even worldwide, conquer the world, situation. So really happy to be here and to also share a lot of the veteran organizations that I work with, both locally here in Southern California and also that have a national presence. So every month we're going to have a different guest come on. And next month, I'm really excited for one of the veterans that actually serves on the collaboratives steering committee. He runs the Health and Wellness Working Group, and his name is Juan Garcia, and he's with U.S. Vets. So we're going to have him, and he has a great story. So I can't wait for him to share his story and his service, and their services at U.S. Vets.
And then, so you were sharing a little bit of why covering his face with the bouquet.
Well, he's my little brother, so I just like to give him a hard time. So I thought it was only fitting that I would, have at least one goofy picture in there because life is can be so serious. So we all need to have a little fun. So just like we started already, right off the bat making fun of Yogi. So with the first So anyways,
and so
yeah.
Yeah, I love
that's the
that.
team, fam. We are really happy to have you here. And then with that, we're gonna bring our first joiner. Oh, whoa, whoa! What am I doing? What am I doing? What's going
I don't
on?
know.
Will, welcome.
What's up? What's up? How is
Hey,
How's
everybody?
it going?
What's up, David?
good.
How
How
you
are you?
doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. Still working on or walking that picket line for my union strike for my company. So, doing all right. Can't complain, I don't guess.
Yeah.
So,
We really thank you for coming on here and being
Yeah,
part of the first Scuttlebutt
ScuttleButt.
episode.
well, thanks for having me, for sure, and thanks for that little bit of promotion earlier, Chris, with the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. You know, it's kind of like you guys with the scuttlebutt. We do, like you said, the tip of the spear. We do it once a month, last Wednesday of the month, and um, you know, it started out with 5 different podcasts, and then it's grown to now what 10, 11 different podcasts that are involved in that. And we try to, the main purpose of that is to get all the information out there, in different parts of the country. Like Chris is, you're up in Washington, and Yogi and Megan, or you guys are in California, and we got people in Florida that are on, Tennessee, Texas. Um, I think Jamie Hurley, I think he's up in, I forget where he's at, but yeah, the whole purpose of that is just so we can have a spot to talk about whatever's going on in around the country within the military and veteran communities. So, and that's kind of like what you guys are doing here with Scuttlebutt. And I love the format that you guys are going with as well. So that's super cool.
Thanks.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What do you think of the logo?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I do like it. That's for sure. You just need a home front sit rep on there somewhere.
You know, so one thing that we do as veterans is we really work well together. You get a veteran with another veteran, and it's like just so easy to merge and talk and share. And we veterans really want to help other veterans out. And the purpose of the logo is to show Megan, who did not serve but has had family members that serves and is what I call a veteran ambassador, pouring out to other people, because we need to reintegrate back into the population. And the only way that it's done successfully is if we take what people like Megan are giving out to us. So she's pouring into us. And that's what I see and what we kind of felt behind the logo, is Megan pouring into us, the community, bringing us back home. And
I like it.
yeah, that's you know, and emblems are super symbiotic, or not symbiotic. They have symbols and they mean things, you know.
Symbols have
And they mean
meanings and
things.
mean things.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Great.
sorry. I had a whole entire
Symbolic.
echo thing and it messed me up.
Yeah,
So, you know, they're symbolic and they mean things, just like the American flag, right? It represents all the states that brings together to our one amazing country.
hey, is your microphone working, or are we picking up sound off of your iPhone or whatever you're on?
So it might
I
have
don't
messed
think
up.
I don't think it's the microphone.
Has it been like that this entire time?
No, because earlier I heard you.
No, just after the shift. Yeah.
Yeah.
After your phone took a
It's because I'm mobile.
hiatus.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, you're good. We can still hear you. It's just not very loud. So when you talk in your normal tone, you're really it's low. But when you get a little loud, we can hear you good. And Veteran Nation, I'll send you some stuff. Just shoot me your email address. I'll send you some stuff for home front sit rep. We go live on Sundays and Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So depending on where you're at, you know, Pacific time, it's what, 4 your time. You're 3 hours behind me. So before 4 o'clock Pacific and 7 Eastern. And what we do, we bring in veteran service organizations from around the country. We bring in veteran singers, veteran authors. So we do a little bit of everything on Home Front Sit Rep. We were doing 4 episodes a week, but the 2 people that we had to do our Tuesdays and Thursdays got too busy doing the nonprofit stuff, so they kind of backed away. So we're in the process of bringing in a couple female veterans to run our Tuesday, Thursday crew. But that's going to be a little bit down the road. We're going to let them get used to doing podcasting on Sunday, Monday with me and Candace. And then we can branch them out on their own and restart the Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I definitely love what, you know, Chris and Yogi are doing with Mil2VEts and everything that you guys are doing, helping veterans transition, you know, or military members who are transitioning out, that's something that when I got out in '01 the first time, then '04 the second time, we didn't have that help to help us transition out. You know, it's basically, all right, you're on terminal leave. See you later. You know, that was it. We didn't have, hey, you need to get everything set up for the VA or anything like they do now. And I kind of wish they did. Um, but, you know, that's where, what was it, 2018 when that law, I think that law was passed, where your military service transitioned over into civilian sector. Because when I got out, it didn't, you know, in 2018 is when that law was passed. And now, if you were telecommunications in the Army, then you could get out and they would help you find a job within the telecommunications at a higher pay scale than starting out at the bottom. So I forget what that law is called, but I'll have to do some research on it, see what that law is called. But there are a lot of great organizations out there that help service members who are transitioning out, depending on what state you're in. I know Kentucky has KY Valor, Mission Wisconsin in Wisconsin. Then there's Indiana Vets or InVets. That's another one that's local to or close to where I'm at. So depending on where you're at, there might be an organization in your area, like Mil2VEt. So
And I like to reinforce that. So here in San Diego, there's the San Diego Veterans Coalition that helps get you're into the right steps as you're transitioning out. Megan, as she mentioned, she's part of the Human Works and up in Orange County and helping out with all veteran things around that area and connecting you with the right people, right? I know that Patriots and Paws, it's an organization here that not only do they do it in Orange County, but they send. So let me backtrack. Patriots and Paws is an organization that provides furniture and other household essentials to active duty and veteran community. Whether you got out honorably or dishonorably or whatever that status is, they don't care as long as you started serving. Um, and then from that, the uh, what they do, they bring home and furnishings to San Diego, to Camp Pendleton, to all the other areas around to be able to provide furniture to as many people as they can. So there's many things here. There's also, Workshop for Warriors and many other programs. And that was another thing, right? At least for me, I don't know how it was for you, David, but whenever uh, we started the transition of getting out, one of the biggest questions that we had is like, well, there's this massive sea of goodwill out there, right, with all these organizations, but who do we really trust,
yeah,
right? Because we've been taught to not to be aware and careful with all the organizations that are out there. Essentially, most of them are just predatory, right? We've had that ingrained into our psyche. So coming out, yes, there's all these organizations that say, "Hey, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you," but at the same time, um, you don't know who to trust. You don't know where to go to. So that was um, another thing, and another reason to have this in order to vet the organizations and share the word of the ones that are actually helping,
yep,
the ones that are predatory, so that we can stay away from, or that there's suspicion. You know what I mean?
yeah.
With that, uh, one more thing I want to say before I pass the baton out to one of you guys, but I am really really sad that Veterati had to shut down. Veterati was an amazing organization that paired the transitioning service members or veterans with someone from an industry, whatever industry it was, in order to provide mentorship and guidance. And they were the bridge to connect those two people. I don't
Hmm.
know all the specifics on why they had to shut down, but they sent a message on LinkedIn from the CEO saying that they unfortunately had to no longer be a part of the veteran helping community.
That's weird. Yeah, we'll have to do some research into that to see why. I'm sure that there's something out there. And to piggyback off what you just said with like veteran service organizations and stuff, you can always go look at like Google reviews. You can look at their 990s, and what you want to do is you want to look and see how transparent the organization is, with how many people they've helped, where all the money's going. If you look at their 990, you can find that information now. That's all public record. Um, and what we do at Homefront, we do a deep dive into each organization that we look into to see if they're a legit organization, and we compare them to other ones that we know personally. Like we have one interview coming up with a service dog organization uh, from up north. I forget where it is exactly. Yes, we do Veteran Nation. Um, we're um, the service dog organization that we're looking into, that we're getting ready to interview. They charge $25,000 to train a service dog. Yeah, a lot,
What?
right? Yeah, but now they don't charge the veteran that, but yet for them to train a service dog, it's $25,000. Well, we got it looking into them. The CEO, president of the nonprofit, runs 2 canine dog training facilities. So are they using the nonprofit to make profit for their
As a
dog training
filter?
facilities? Yeah. It's like, okay, so we're gonna do an interview with, or not an interview, we're gonna do a meet and greet with them, and ask some questions, because I know personally, here in Kentucky, there's Dogs Helping Heroes, and they have 2 different, dog trainers that they use for their dogs, and then they get dogs from, like, rescues, like, they rescue dogs, and then they get them trained to be service dogs. Um, so it's like, and I think their price to charge is like 10, maybe 10,000, maybe, but that's to get the dog trained for, whether it's PTS, anxiety, hypervigilance, whatever. But $25,000 to train dogs, is that lining the people who own the dog training business's pocket? Utilizing veteran service dogs for that. So I'm definitely going to look, like, do a much deeper dive into them, because I do know some about dogs, service dog organizations, and it's just like, something just seems fishy, just
What
like,
what organization is this one
I,
called
I'm
again?
not, I can tell you offline. I'm not going to call them out on not
Is
until I know
He's
for
still doing
it
sure.
his
in is it in
journalistic.
California?
It's somewhere up northwest. I don't know exactly. I'd have to look. I'll tell
Because
you.
and I say this because I know a couple,
Okay.
and I know one that he trained dogs in the military.
Well, this is a female that runs this organization.
Okay. So, but he also has like a for-profit dog training, and then he also runs. He actually took over this nonprofit, and he's running it now. He was involved with it before, and
Hmm.
so but they don't, because I asked him, I said, well, what if I want to, like, I usually rescue dogs. I said, so what if I want to get like a rescue, and then I wanted to, get it trained as a service dog? And he goes, well, we're going to have to do a temperament test to see how this works, or to be able to, to actually qualify as a service dog. And then I do know of another organization here in Orange County, um, and they have a similar thing, but they have a donor that actually donates specifically for someone to train a dog for like a veteran. And it's very specialized
Hmm.
care, like, and so it's a little bit different. So it may just kind of depend on what type of service dog they're trying to tailor to. So you're definitely right to be like cautious, right? I would say that that number is actually a pretty solid number from what I know from other organizations, and kind of
You talking about the 25,000? That's
yeah.
to me that seems way high.
Because
But
it's
And
that's
also
also
that's food. That's not saying that it costs 25,000, but it's food, it's medical care, it's a lot of different things like kennel costs, things like that to actually go into that. So there are some, and then like the certifications and the training, because they're doing it a little bit differently. So each organization kind of operates differently. I don't know this one, so it'll be interesting to hear kind of after you have your initial meet and greet with them. But just based on what I know with training, like dogs of a higher caliber, that could be the case, especially if they're.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. Like I said, I got the meet and greet with them. I'm gonna do some more deep dive into them. It just seems like that even their Facebook is, or not their Facebook, even their website's too polished. And it's just like, maybe we'll see. And maybe they're 100% legit. And I don't know. It just seems like when I was talking with the founder of the organization that I know, they're like, man, that seems shady. Something's going on. And then again, she's a smaller organization compared to what they are, because they're a big
Mhm.
time organization from what I can see. So we'll see. Yogi, I put in private chat, I put my link to my Facebook page for Homefront Sit Rep. I know somebody was asking, but it won't let me post because it's posting from YouTube, from where I'm
oh,
connected, um, for
I will
Veterans
put it in the
Nation
comments.
there. If you can,
Woo
yeah, just
woo.
copy and paste it. I appreciate it. But
It
yeah,
is
Veteran
done, my
Nation,
friend.
we have YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of those. Just search for Homefront Sit Rep on pretty much all of them. We're on there. Um, but no, so it's in Washington. This organization is up in Washington, so it's more up by Chris. Uh, so that's where this one is. But no, I'm excited to see Uh, all right, so I got your email, Veteran Nation. I'll get back with you soon. Uh, but no, doing this for podcasting for a year and almost 2 years. February will be 2 years, so year and a half or whatever.
Hmm.
I've got to meet a lot of great veterans out there that are helping veterans, um, and it just and we look for like the mom and pops. We don't look for like Wounded Warrior projects and the big ones. We look for the mom and pop ones that are locally and regionally, that are out serving veterans and really serving the veteran because they care, and they're not worried about where their funding's coming from. Even though I know all organizations out there, they need funding to run a nonprofit. And then
Absolutely.
but there's a lot of the bigger ones out there. All they care about is the number. Or if, like, say you join an organization, Yogi, and you find out that organization's not a good fit for you, and you decide to leave to go to another organization. Now you still belong to this group, but yet you left and went to go work with this group because it's a better fit for you. Well, this group gets pissed off because you left and went to this group. I think
Mm,
that's a terrible thing for veterans, because if something's not working for me, I'm gonna find something that's gonna work for me. Like,
correct.
I know outdoor therapy works for me, and some people might like equine therapy or adrenaline therapy, just depending, or art therapy or music therapy, whatever works. So if my organization is strictly equine therapy, and Yogi, you're scared to death of horses. You come out and you try it one time and you don't like it, and you're like, oh well, maybe I want to go do some outdoor therapy. And then you really, really love the outdoor therapy. Well, you should be able to go without this organization getting pissed off because you left to go join another service org. So, but there's a lot of them out there, even some small mom and pop ones. They do not work well with other veteran service organizations because it's the me mentality. So
And that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy um, being a part of the executive committee for the Orange County Veterans and Military Families Collaborative. I joined that back in 2019, and so it's We have over 100 veteran service organizations that serve Orange County and the greater Southern California area, and we're all working together. We've got 11 different working groups addressing different needs for veterans, and so setting the ego aside and just saying, hey, we want to come alongside you. We want to do more case coordination. The VA is also a part of that group, the VSO's office. So, we are working with all, types of organizations and government agencies to make sure that we are doing what we can for veterans and their family. Within Orange County, we also work with the San Diego Coalition and the Los Angeles Collaborative as well. There's nothing really that's happening in the Inland Empire. There are some kind of groups, but they're not as formal as San Diego, LA, and Orange County. So, yeah.
A question from Veteran Nation. Thoughts on veteran service organizations like the VFW, American Legion, American Vets. I can tell you about the VFW and American Legion myself, my experience. I've never experienced the American Vets yet. I would love to. If anybody that is listening to us and would like to reach out and connect, would love to learn more from them. VFW, I have been a member myself since 2003, and that was because one of my mentors, George, he actually connected me to the VFW. But at the same time, I haven't really used them a lot. Uh, but I have had nothing but great reviews from people that use them and are part of the members. The same thing with the American Legion. Um, as always, I would caveat with it's all about a good fit for you. Each post is differently. Each post has their own rules, their own cabinet that prioritizes what's important for the growth of that specific post and for what they want to prioritize. What are your thoughts yourself?
Well, so what I'm going to say about the VFW, the American Legion, and vets and stuff like that, they're all great organizations, and a lot of I went and I was going to join a VFW locally here to where I'm at, and the VFW, the commander and everybody that was in charge didn't like the younger generation coming in trying to change things up to do, to bring the younger generation in.
Interesting.
And that's where, everybody says, oh, well, the VFW, the American Legions, they're all dying out. It's because the older generation is not willing to change, is not willing to
Right.
adapt to today's society. So, the younger generation is, not even trying to go to the AMVETs or the VFWs and stuff, because the older generation keeps pushing them out. So like the VFW post that I was trying to become a member of, we got some younger people in the leadership roles, and they started trying to change things. And then the other leaders and the other older members were like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing. So they voted it out. Well, needless to say, the next cycle of elections came up, and the younger generation that was voted in got voted right out, and then they left the VFW. So
Wow.
a lot of it just depends on, because there's some great VFW posts out there. Don't get me wrong. There's some great American Legion posts. A lot of it just depends on the leadership within each post. And then of course your national level needs to
represent the same thing.
The national level needs to help, bring that to the local level. I think that's what's going to help the VFW post, the American Legion post, and stuff like that. Is if the national level says, hey, you need to get the younger generation in and help and let them, revive the VFW post and American Legions, because a lot of them around here, all they care about is the canteen. They don't care about anything else. Well, as a veteran that was an alcoholic, I don't care about the canteen. I'm not going to a post
Yes.
to go drink. Yes, they serve food, they serve non-alcoholic beverages, but they push the alcohol on you, and it's just like that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the camaraderie that I lost when I left the military. So
Right.
that's my thoughts on the American Legions, VFWs, and stuff like that.
And
And
I,
I,
go ahead, Megan. Go ahead.
so I do a lot of events with the collaborative at the different American Legions, and I have noticed, that kind of what you both have shared, and I would just say it's kind of something that's local to your area.
Right.
But I know, like the American Legion Post 291 here, which is beautiful in Newport.
Yes.
Can't go wrong there. They do a lot of events and things like that. They're really trying to engage with younger veterans. So yeah, I think you just have to go and check it out. And just see if it's going to be a good fit for you. And if maybe that place wasn't a great fit, maybe try somewhere else. I just think you kind of have to have an open mindset and kind of understand, well, what are you really looking for? Um, in that kind of new unit, right? Family that you're kind of looking to find.
And Megan brought up a good point. So post 291, I was able to to go there a couple times, and they are, as far as I know, the first American Legion who has incorporated or is bringing in the younger generation, and he's doing so much work to try to bring the younger generation and refuel us and build us up. I mean, they have gaming nights every Wednesday with Krager Gaming that they come and they work collaboratively. They have I want to say 6 computers and 6 Xbox that they play video games there with them. They also have cigar night once a month where they come and they bring different, the younger generation, the older generation. There are also some prominent figures that show up every once in a while to keep that kind of engagement, and they're really n- very close knit community. Um, I know they just had elections that happened recently, and that also changed a little bit of the dynamic, right? And it's fortunate and unfortunate because you have those changes coming that can be great or can be not so great for whoever's involved on both sides. So it is interesting to see those things. As a matter of fact, here in California, in the San Diego area, our friend Vic Martin, he was just elected as the American Legion of the region, um, the vice seat, whatever, or the I don't ask me the whole titles, but he was elected as one of the big names up there, um, and you know you see changes with some of those close organizations, but unfortunately, as you said, David, and Veteran Nation, it's very, and Megan too, you mentioned it, is very specific the to the local area where you're going for. Um, I do believe that we as humans, we don't necessarily always like to change. So when we have something that is challenging that mindset or perspective, it is more difficult um, to face that. But with that, family, we are about to wrap it up. Any last thoughts
So I
before
was going
we
to
close it
piggyback.
up?
I was going to piggyback. So how close are y'all to Newport Harbor in California?
That's the Post 291 that I was talking about.
Yes. So that's got the
Yes.
yacht club. So
Yes.
we had them on our podcast, and those guys, the leadership there is amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think we had 4. We had their commander, the vice commander, and 2 other members on. of the chain of command there, and what they're doing, with their country music nights and video games and computers. Those guys are on lock. I wish the national level would see what they're doing and then take that to the other American Legion post. So I just want to piggyback off of that real quick. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for being
I love
here.
coming on and talking with you guys. I love when you guys jump on the tip of the spear with us as well. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for being on.
And
Thanks for being here and sharing the space. And thank you to everyone else that came on and listened to us live and is going to listen afterwards. And we look forward to being able to continue to share, you know, different veteran stories and resources with you all in the coming months.
so our next one is going to be October 9th at 9:30, same time, same place. Please join us. We would love to have you here. Um, and without further ado, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya. Bye.